new connect, I get it for the real. Hell yeah. People's coming in, they softer than some kilos. Y'all haters frontin' now.
What's good, YouTube? We back with another episode of the TrakWolf GodCast. I'm your boy TrakBeatz. Got my man Cheno Bliss up in the motherfucking building.
Hey, nah.
Hey, what's good, bro? You already know. So, we got a special guest up in the building today. Big Quinn up over here.
What up? This your boy LaQuinn. Make sure you check me out online. Google at LaQuinn. Check me out. Brand Jacker, LaQuinn, clothing line. Check out my music. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad to be here on the GodCast with my boys. You know what I'm saying? We've been knowing each other for years, and we will talk it out, baby.
Yeah, hey, man. So like, I know you've been doing this thing for a while now. So like, for the people that don't understand, give them like a little insight of like how you got started. As far as like, I wouldn't just say music. I would say more like your entrepreneurship. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not really just in one lane.
I mean, I started when I when I was 9. When I got in trouble. When I had to go to court and I got out of court, my mom gave me that look like, I ain't buying you no more shoes. That's when I just became an entrepreneur.
Shoes got you.
Yeah, because I needed some shoes. So we live on Madison Avenue. University of Virginia was right beside it. So all the dorms and stuff was around there. We would go to the apartments and tell the students we'd take out their trash for $1 a bag. Now, most of them thought they was getting over on us, but the big catch to that is those people were slobs. So it was like 20 or more bags each time. We was young too, so we'd take the bags out and we do that to just about every run. We used to clean up off of that joint. That's when I just became an entrepreneur, because my sister dad, he owned a cleaning business. Shout out to Donnell Taylor Cleaning, and my sister Donnell. But
whose idea was it to come up with that concept?
It was my idea. It was me, my big brother Nat, rest in peace, and my brother Clay. We was just walking and I was like, yo, watch this. And I literally knocked on the door, and I was about to say, we'll clean your floor for like $1 or something. But as soon as they opened the door, it was like trash bags piled up, and it's like a light bulb went off like bling bling. I was like, hey, we'll take a bag of trash out for $0.25.
So 25 cents a bag. So how many bags you get is 25 cents.
Man, them fools had more bags than they had furniture in there most of the time. That was the weird thing. The trash can would be right there, but they had this they had this thing like they was too good to touch the trash. I don't know, it was weird. Yeah. It was weird.
So let me ask you something. You said you got in trouble at 9 to the point that you had to go to court. Can you talk about what happened?
Well, it was running around with my brother, and he basically was killing cats. Mm-hmm. So that's basically it.
He's like, that's basically the story.
So when you mean killing cats, because some people on here might not fully understand that, they might take that as a metaphor.
Nah, my brother literally had a dog, and we would just be following him because we wanted to get out the house, and he would be sick of the dog or people cats and stuff.
It's not funny. It's just I never heard anything like that, so it kind of blew my mind.
He was a young Jeffrey Dahmer, for real. That was like the last time I ever hung with my brother. I was like, nah, man, you do so much like weird stuff out the wazoo. This would come up with that. I'd just be like, nah, man, I'm thinking about math problems. I'm thinking about shorty in school and shit. And he want to be running around punching old people in the face, and I'd just be like, he'd turn around like I'm a follow-up. I'd be walking off like Charlie Brown. Like, I ain't got nothing.
That's reckless.
Yeah, I'm like, man, you know what I'm saying? It's just not cool. It won't it.
So pretty much you was in court for a situation that had nothing to do with your doing.
I mean, we was right there. I told my mom, I'm like, Mom, you do I ain't trying to go
but with it was you too.
But we still would leave with them. And she like, make sure you don't kill no cat. And mom was a squirrel. I'd be like, it was 13 cats, mom.
Yeah.
He had cleared the whole block of cats, and I was just like,
I can't.
That's
I just after that first time, I was like, I'm staying in the house and done. We go out with him again, and he ain't going through the neighborhood, so we went to the baseball field, and that's when the cops rolled up and pulled the gun on us. It's like, freeze! And
Even as kids?
How old was you?
We was 9. I was 9. He was what? 12. We was 9, 10, 11, and 12. And the cop was like, I'm gonna blow your brains out. I was like, man.
That's crazy. So with that statement, like, how do you feel as far as like everything going on now? Like, still seeing the same shit going on out here?
I don't know. People crazy. Like, that shit ain't cool to me. Like, I don't know. Harming motherfuckers. I don't know. If somebody asks for a fight, I understand that. But to just be like, nah.
So what's your do you have any intake on like as far as like these situations going on with like Breonna Taylor and George Floyd? Like,
this my take on that. What a lot of people don't pay attention to is where these cops be coming from. And if a cop is paramilitary, or, like if a cop is former military, say the cop used to be a Marine. In the Marine Corps, they got this thing called the 70% rule. The 70% rule means you just got to be 70% sure that target is going to take you out, to take that target out. And if they still got that aggression coming off the battlefield and stuff, you got to check them. And then on top of that, a lot of people don't remember that the KKK put out a decree, and the manifesto said that any cop that kills a person of color in a line of duty, if they lose their job, they're going to take care of them for the rest of their life. And then you start to see an influx of cops who do have backgrounds and try to say, oh no, that was me in the past, I don't hate anymore. They were like, what, you got a swastika on your chest or something? Do you get them joining the forces? And it's just like, it's all hell breaking loose and people don't pay attention to it. They don't vote for the sheriff, they vote for presidents.
so do you think like voting actually has an impact on like us on a lower scale, not as far as like the other people, you know what I'm saying, on a bigger scale, but us, black people, brown people?
Yeah, voting always important. You got to vote at every turn. Don't just vote for the president. Vote every time there's something pop up. Vote, because it affects the presidency. It affects who's in power. You know what I'm saying? It affects the policies. Like, people don't vote on policies. They vote on the presidency.
Can you break that down a little bit more for someone like me who may not understand what you're saying specifically?
All right, in your local government, you got to vote for your mayor. You vote for your comptroller. You vote for, I don't know, do they do the city council vote? Yeah, you vote for who will be on city council. If you're not voting, and say all liberals get up there, and their stance is no abortions, then they can shut down abortion clinics in the city, and you might need it. But say it's like on either side, whatever policies that you want in place, you got to vote at the bottom, coming all the way up.
Okay, yeah.
So
Because you can't just vote at the top.
So that's kind of what's going on now. Is basically what he's saying is like, in order to have a real effect in like the voting system, you have to start within your communities. You know what I'm saying? So we not starting in our communities. We starting with the presidents. You know what I'm saying? We skipping the bottom and going straight to the top. So. Like
The president, or what's the other one? Everybody try to vote for the governor. You'll vote for what? They'll vote for one characteristic in the president that's totally different from the characteristic in the governor that they voted for. Just think about that. Like, they'll vote for a governor that's a party and a president is that. People don't see that. They just like blind to it. They just like, yo, he looks cool, I like him, vote for him.
So you're saying that they're voting for people with different interests.
So
when
many
they try
different
to-
interests.
So when they try to get something done, the people are going to have conflict of interest.
So do you feel like that's kind of like what's going on now with the whole Trump and Biden thing? Do you feel like people are voting for Biden and Harris based off of they feel like Trump is a racist?
Yeah. And the thing that tricks me out is that you got Biden on the record saying some controversial stuff.
And Harris as well.
I mean, saying
doing some
controversial
shit,
stuff
yeah.
like, what?
But a lot of people don't want to do the research, you know what I'm saying? So they just voting against somebody. Y'all not even voting for somebody. Y'all voting against somebody. So it don't matter who the fuck it is. Because you don't like this motherfucker, you're going to vote for somebody else. So that's just saying that you can't think for yourself. Like, and that's where I get stuck at in the process. Like, if you gonna vote for Biden and Harris and them, which I think this shit is already done, like, at least do some research, you know what I'm saying? If you choose to be like, oh, alright, well, I know he don't give a fuck about me and he wanna kill me right away, but I'm still gonna vote for him, that's fine. But if you just going out voting for motherfuckers because you don't like somebody, then that's a pretty ignorant, like, you being naive, you know what I'm saying? Knowledge is power.
So I got a question for both of y'all. Do y'all feel like Trump plays on people's perception of race? Like, do y'all feel like, because I feel like he dances on, I kind of support the racist, biased-minded people, but he never truly says it, but he plays on it for the vote because there's such a big crowd. You know what I mean?
I think he just don't talk slang, so
I think
people misinterpret
I think once we stop looking at what he's talking about and look at the work that nigga actually doing, then it'll be a different story. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going, nigga could say 1,000 things. What the fuck you doing? You know? What I'm
that's
saying?
my
like,
whole point. It was like how people seen how the money has come back to our economy. You know, it's like we gotta pay attention to that. When we bleeding money, we bleeding money. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. He part of the same bird, so I ain't saying I'm with that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Left wing, right wing, it's all part of the same bird. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. I'm just saying be able to think for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Even though y'all probably already voted, but it was just like motherfuckers went out and voted for somebody just because they ain't like somebody and held the sticker up proudly, like just for a little bit of acknowledgement. Like
they was out there fighting. I'm looking at these people
like Kamala Harris. She's
for.
A defense attorney. That's what she used to do, was lock niggas up. You know what I'm saying? Falsifying evidence, like all kind of shit. But y'all see the brown skin and y'all don't want to do no research and dig deeper. You know what I'm saying? So. Y'all just gotta start being mindful of those kind of things going on, because that shit, what's going on up there is life changing, you know what I'm saying? It ain't really affecting us too heavy, it is to a certain extent, but they the ones that's making these decisions, or the puppets of the people that's making these decisions, you know what I'm saying, that got us all over the place.
Got us like puppets for real, we dancing around with it.
Yeah, speaking of dancing though, but how you get started into your musical journey?
Oh shit! I started with this man right here on my t-shirt. Rest in peace to my uncle Curtis Gilmore. He passed away in May 2nd of this year.
Rest in peace, Kurt. I know Kurt. I know him personally.
But he used to just come in the house and just be rapping and get all of us rapping, and we just be rapping and rapping. We were real young, and next thing I know, my cousin. Shout out to my cousin Sean Brown, Bump Brown. He started making beats when he was young. And my uncle Johnny, he was always in bands. So it's like music is all around, because on the Jones side of my family, my great uncles and great grandfathers had bands and stuff. Like they played with Ohio Players, Parliament. I can't remember the exact name of their group. It's like not Mamas. It was a gospel group. My dad was in the band, so it's just like music is everywhere around me. Mm-hmm. I just always been in the studio, in a bass drum sitting there or something. Like seriously, I'd be sitting in my uncle's bass drum, laid on the pillow, and he'd come and bang that joint, wake me up. I'd be like, always been around.
So like, since you always been around it, because I kind of always been around music too.
Pilgrim's Church. Tell them.
And so on and so forth. Church, that's definitely the first base of music for me.
Definitely for a lot of us.
Up in Pilgrims.
But I was gonna say, like being around stuff like that, it kind of makes it second nature because you're around it so much. So, do you remember a certain moment or a certain time where you was just like, I think I want to do music for myself?
I don't know, because I've always been doing it. My uncle always had recording machines, and we always would make little demos.
So when did you record your first track?
I recorded my first track when I was young, but I recorded my first track that I feel was a couple of years ago. But I was doing demos with Matter of fact, with his uncle, with Cheno uncle.
Yeah.
I was doing tracks with him. I was doing tracks with Charlie.
Small world.
Shout out to Nitty, Frank. Rest in peace to Mankey. It was all of us. Mankey. Shout out to Freddie. Freddie Jackson. Freddie Johnson, my fault. All of us, we'd be making a bump. Chris Newman. It was just, we would be in the studio. We was real young. This was when they first opened up Music Resource Center. And how we found the joint, I used to go to the joint. Downstairs, they had the Dave Matthews. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't even realize this was the same dude.
This dude was big in this town. Yeah.
This the thing that messed my head up. I didn't realize Dave Matthews was the same dude that was coming to the house to pick my uncle up. My uncle Johnny, rest in peace.
From the group. Yeah.
So my uncle was playing with them back then. So we would go and get the little t-shirts. They had stacked t-shirts in the door, but you can wedge it a little bit. We'd get a t-shirt. And I'd be rocking Dave Matthews gear, running around. I'm just happy I got a new t-shirt on and stuff. And one day, I'm leaving the joint, and my homeboy Adrian and Jamie walk in. And they're like, where you going? I was like, they was like, yo, come here, we want to show you something. They took me to the MRC, the Music Resource Center. It was right above Tracks, right above Dave Matthews merchandise, where they was doing the merchandise and that. And we went in there, and it was Congos. And that was my, I was like, yo. And we just started a go-go band.
Oh my God, bro. When you said that, I flashed back to being 5, 6, 7, and they would bring home cassette tapes rapping over fucking go-go. All you heard was boom, boom, boom. All you heard was them fucking bongos. That's all you heard was bongos, yo. That shit,
that's for real.
It amazed me.
That go-go got his own feel, his own wave.
What was crazy was we progressed so fast. We was doing gigs with the 3 Butts. And our first 3 Butts, we caught our first gig. There was we got this thing opening up called the Amphitheater. We was like, shit. We go there, we do that joint. The motherfucking concrete was so fucking fresh, it smelled like fish out that bitch, man. Excuse my language.
Oh yeah, we good. We keep it organic over here on this channel.
Then from there, rest in peace to Max and Tracks, the builders. We was catching gigs at Max and Tracks. We was selling them joints out. You can ask anybody in the city. We was young, cranking that joint.
How old?
We was 15, 16, 17. Nah, we was from 13 to 17, as a matter of fact. Our age range was that deep. Man, we was cranking. And I started on the keyboard. Then one day, my homeboy Lance Blakey worked for the fire department, you know what I'm saying? He got on the boards, and that's the first time I ever got the mic. And since then, I was like, I ain't letting it go. They're like, man, you suck. I'm like, I don't care. It's my mic. It's all my equipment, and I'm on the mic. They're like, man. Now, we had that joint cranking, though. Because it was like, we was playing our style of go-go. We weren't trying to play like junk.
Yeah.
We weren't trying to play like back. We was just doing our style. We was doing Jamaican pockets and all this shit that was messing. People was like,
I remember.
They innovate them. We just kept getting gigs everywhere. And then dudes got big-headed. Because once I got the house over there on Booker Street, so I got the crib. I put all the equipment in there, and they coming through that joint. We in that joint practicing, me, Big Jamie Johnson, Chris Hawkins, Frog. We done got the band sold up. Man, fiends running to the door, knocking on the door. Niggas like, oh man, you can't. The fiends like, man, we want to come in and listen. Fiends coming that joint, be getting this joint, we be cranking. So time going, we getting gigs everywhere. We doing frat parties. We did a house party, had the flow ready to cave in. Yo, we had some legendary joints. And then one day, we had a falling out after the gig, and they was like, whoop-de-whoop to me, whoop-whoop-whoop. And I'm like, man, I make sure everybody shine. You can't get mad if I done took my shirt off. I'm looking like Skeletor, but I'm like, yeah, they yapping. And I'm like, yo, why y'all yapping, yo? So they all in my ear. And I'm like, you know what? Man, I'm out. So, a week passed, gig came up. I ain't go to the gig. Because I'm like, yo, we got to come to terms on how we talk to each other. So, all of them hit me, come to the house. These fools will come to my house like, yo, can we use the congos and the drums and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, for what? Man, we about to go do this gig at Fork Union. They even brought the dude that they was replacing me with. I'm looking at this dude, he's standing in my living room. Dude cock deals though. I'm like, man, you want some water or something, man? Shit, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, goddamn, like, I'm trying to be nice and shit. Like, but I'm like, cause, dudes be like drama queens and shit, and I'm like, man, I ain't up for this shit. I'm like, man, why y'all even come ask me, man? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, nah. I was like, nah, and that was it. I started producing rap full time, and that's when I started producing different dudes, and that joint started popping. I was like, you know what? I'm good.
How was the transition of working with people in a band and then or in a group to working alone?
It was easy. I mean, the way I feel in a band, when you on stage, you be in your own bubble anyway, for real, bro.
Really?
Like, you think the dude on the good top be thinking about you, like, you understand?
I never been in the band. I don't know.
Yeah, everybody be in their own little bubble. Dude on the piano, he be looking around, but he be like, people in their own little bubble.
Keys.
Yeah, you get your, once you know how to play together, we was just crushing it.
So since we talking about like being in groups and around groups, like how do you feel as far as like collaboration and like having business partners? Like what kind of like what should I say, like what kind of pointers would you give somebody who's like looking to venture out and like attach like a business partner, you know what I'm saying? What kind of advice would you give them before just like getting in business with anybody?
Oh, but know yourself first. Know what you gonna tolerate.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you ain't the type to tolerate, then don't even try it. You know what I'm saying? If you will get in business with somebody, always know what the risk is. Try to, unless you like to venture out hard and risk hard, you know what I'm saying? Make sure the risk ain't high and stuff like that. Yeah. Make sure everything is legit. And the main thing is make sure you can tolerate whoever you doing business with. It's just like you as a producer, I'm pretty sure you don't mind selling beats to anybody. But then you got all your beats and you got dudes, you're like, man, you know what? I'm gonna do a track with such and such. You ain't gonna just be doing a track with like a person that you can't tolerate. Like, man, you know what I'm saying? It's just the same way. It's like the same with everything. It's like, except for relationships. Cause the pussy be so good, dudes gonna be like, shit, they can be getting abused by the chick, they don't care. That's the only situation where the partnership can be total hell and you still be sitting there like, just smiling.
How you feel females played a role into your musical journey? Like, do you feel like they've been more distracting to like?
Nah, cause a lot of my in my musical journey, I always had support from, like, in the beginning I had a whole lot of support because I'm fresh out of high school and stuff. But later on, I got support spread all around. It might be somebody's grandma or whatever, but women playing to my music, I know I got a foul mouth on some of my songs. Like, I done did songs with Cheno, and he be talking foul. He be like, pussy. He be doing the pussy. He said the pussy like 30 times. I be like, but my mom listened to that joint. Be like, what if I said that? Cheno, you just say it differently. like, I got a lot of songs to shorties, like, venting about relationship breakups and stuff. Like, all my breakups I talk about, and the good times I talk about, and it mainly sound like some stripping type song. But like, women, for real, I'm learning more about how much you have to, like, women can be just as vulgar as us, but you have to show them a feminine respect. You gotta always remember that. And people gotta remember that when they making music or whatever, aside from what Cardi B be saying, I don't know what in the world is going on.
Yeah, I think all of us over here feel that exact same way about that type of shit going on.
I got a daughter, man.
I did too.
So how does that affect your mind as a father? Because I'm pretty sure, well, I don't have a daughter, you know, so I'm not really sure the perspective a father has when he hears stuff like that he has a daughter, you know what I mean?
I mean, it's irritating when they listen and gravitate to it. That's the only thing I can say, because the irony is I have songs that she's heard and I've said stuff in it, and she's like, Dad, turn that off. I'll be like, but then I hear her, she's like, make it drop, wop, cookie, flop, or whatever.
Yeah.
Top and top. Then she on TikTok jumping around and you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and I'm like, that's not. I'm like, they're tricking y'all, Mariah. You know, stop, baby.
Yeah.
She's like, nah, I'm doing that. And she just popping. She about to be a teen too, so she just feeling herself.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's my baby though.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. It's a good little process right there. On that note, we're gonna cut to this break and we're gonna get right back to y'all.
This that savage shit.
So we back from the break. You know what I'm saying? We about to switch things up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Let my man Cheno introduce the next topic.
Yeah, man. So I was sitting here thinking, man, and I remember it was probably about a year and a half, 2 years ago. I'd be riding around town and I see these green signs that were handmade, and they would just say LaQuinn, and they would be promoting his music, and they would be everywhere. I'd be in traffic out on 29 on the motherfucking highway. Yo, I'd be over by my neighborhood. It might be on a motherfucking
county side,
on a
city
pole.
side.
It'd be on anything, man. To the point where, you know, I went up to a meeting in UVA. And, you know, Kayez, I believe it was Kayez, was just like, yeah, like, some of the students was mentioning him, they're interested in him now. And I was like, yo, this is outstanding marketing. How did you come up with that marketing and promotion idea?
That joint actually go back to my Uncle Johnny. He used to, you know, travel all over the world. And he would go to Germany, do shows, and come back with these little posters. And he would go all over the world, but the two places I would see that he would come back with them little posters, it was either Germany or New York. And it was these little posters that would advertise the music, and it would have like little characters on it, and it'd be like a, you know, just a crude little poster that was mass produced, but it just had them crude designs where you would directly look at what it say, like, and you could just see it. So I went to the place and I ordered some. I got some little logos things made that I did, and I ordered it, and it was Kinko's, as a matter of fact. I ordered it, and when I got it, it was like, it wasn't what I thought it was gonna be. It was like kind of flimsy, so I put them joints up, and you really couldn't see it. And that was my whole thing. I'm like, how come I could see it? Like you hold it in hand, you could see it right here, but you couldn't see it from the street. So one day I go out to Lowe's, and I'm just going looking around for stuff, and I'm like, yo, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get yard signs. So I go to the section where the yard signs at, and they like, bop, bop, bop. I get a couple yard signs. That was what I started with. I put yard signs all the way up, all the way up and down 29 on each side of the median.
Grady.
Yeah,
Grady go up. So I got them joints popping off. And I noticed there was like, you know, there was, some of them won't last as long as I would thought. So I go back to Lowe's, and that's when I seen that green board right there. And I seen the pink joint too. So I was like, I said, black on that would stand out. And I just got a whole bunch of them joints, took them home. It was way cheaper. And you know me, I create a mile a minute. I'm like, just drawing. Next thing I know, I had like a stack of 50 of them joints and just put them up everywhere. And lo and behold, this dude hit me and he like, man, this dude made a diss song about you.
What?
This dude made a diss song going around town ripping down my signs and stuff. Mad. He put the joint on and everything. So right after that, Seville, what is it, Weekly?
Seville Weekly.
Seville Weekly. My girl Erin hit me. And I'm like, she was like, I was like, for real, interview? She was like, yeah, I'm gonna tell you what it's about when we get there. So, to make a long story short, I told him meet me at the Shell just to be safe, because I didn't know who it was. I'm like, I'm thinking it's a setup for real. I'm like, for real, I ain't believing it. I go over there, she do the interview, and she was like, yeah, you were in the top, the best of Charlottesville, promote marketing strategies. And I was like, for real, she was like, your size, everyone's talking about your size. Now everybody's talking about your music and all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. I was like, I'm just like, oh, yo, this is so dope. So you ain't got a wire on, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I started looking, she, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Beautiful woman, I'm looking at her, I'm smiling down, you know, I get in the conversation. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You trying to relax, you know.
She like, nah, I'm married. I'm like,
Trying to slide in there.
yeah, you know how I go, but she was like, I got the film crew will come out, they go do your picture and stuff, and I ain't think too much of it. I'm just like happy.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, I'm getting hit from everywhere about the joints, and they come and do the little photo shoot. That's when I see, yeah, it really did work. And what happened was, I went to school for business administration, and I'm trying to almost like prove a point on top of points, and it's like the learning of the new economy and the way things run with the online game and stuff. So I am still trying to prove to my professor that physical advertisement is always gonna reign. Like no matter what, because we had a discussion in class where they was like, online is taking over, and I was like, online will never take over. That is trick some of y'all, but it's not gonna trick everybody, because most people need to see. It's just like learning, you need to see it, and just because you see it online, it's like,
it's kind of like why they still got billboards around too. You know what I'm saying? You can ride the highways, you still gonna see them billboards, even up and down the streets. You know what I'm saying? They still got the billboards plastered. So that was dope. Creative marketing. It reminded me of like back in the day, like, and then watching Master P's documentaries and shit, like, and when we was younger, when CDs was out and you had to have the physical hard copies, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you was popping trunks selling shit, you know what I'm saying? Like you was going spot to spot to get your shit off.
my Cheno tell you, I would put out a mixtape and sell all them joints. Like people would be hunting me down like, man, I need that, man, I need that. And that's why I was like, man, I need to get better at this for real. I need to get better at this rap, because the only reason I really went from producing to rapping was because I put my brother in the studio, paid for his project. You know, I got my homeboy and I'm running a project, and I'm just like, all I see is up, because I'm fresh home from prison. I got game from dudes who mentally super sharp, and they were just telling me stuff, and it's the same stuff I was trying to tell my professor once I got in class that would throw his head off like, I'm like, yeah, that's prison game. You don't even know, boy. But I wouldn't say that to him. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
it's a place to, unfortunately, where you'll catch a lot of people that can think outside the box. You know what I'm saying?
oh my God.
It's a lot of creative minds in one space, even though they put it out there as if, you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers just got ended up doing one thing. That could have been the case, you know what I'm saying, but everybody don't want to be a part of the system, you know what I'm saying?
Facts. But back to my brother, this what happened. He had his seeds, you know what I'm saying? He had his little boy, so I'm like, yo, I'm an uncle, but you know what I'm saying? We got to go on the road. You know, he like, man, I can't. And then next thing I know, he give up. So I had already planned this, and I kid you not. The breakdown with my brother project is, the main producer on his album was Trauma Tone. And I'm gonna tell you, this is how this happened, and this is how I know how fate is. We were going to the award show. We had planned a trip. We was going up to Philly. We was going to the game. We was coming down to the award show. We had it all planned out. Kentucky. We had a whole bunch of stops. And he flaked out. I had made a ton of copies. We were going to the award show to just put them joints on the cars. I don't know where I got that from, but I kept telling, I was like, yo, I think if we go there, that's that vibe.
Yeah.
Guess who did go there?
Who?
Wong. I know.
Rich homie Quan.
Yes. And I told Donis, I was like, yo, do you know that was the same sound that you had? Because it was Trauma. That's how fate be. And that's why I tell people, when you going for something, study it. Study once, study twice, and then execute. Always remember, just study once, study twice, and execute. It's just like measuring. You measure once, measure twice, then you cut. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not that hard.
As precise as possible.
Yeah, it's not that hard. It's actually just take you to go do it. It's when I have a show and I need somebody, you know, I'm like, all right, it's another act. I call Cheno.
Yeah. Always show love, man.
I might be like, yo, trying to come to Baltimore. He be like, man, you know what I'm saying? I gotta hit the metaphysical temple.
Let me get my crystals.
He's like, man, you gotta let me know it in an eon in advance. I'm like, I'm gonna get you, man.
Yo, okay, so.
But what's crazy is his
he be doing the
show
shows,
was crazy, right? Yeah.
So, okay, I got a question now. So, you had mentioned you had been to prison. How was it transitioning from a prison environment back into a world environment and stepping into the business of music and entertainment, entrepreneurship? How hard was that transition? And like,
I was locked with Don Fairquan, Wise, Murder. I was locked with all them dudes, the spitters, yo, no bull. I was locked with some spitters that it's crazy because it was a King's Nation. They had Bloods, some Crips, but everybody was kicking game to each other. It was like a learning. I learned a lot. That I thought I knew in a small city, and they was like, oh man, yo, you getting got, man. This how I go, bop, 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 bop. So the music game, they was spitting it to me. Don, he came on, did the song with Nas as soon as he came home. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh, so it is real. It's not about you sitting back like, I want a deal. I need a deal. It's about executing.
When you say executing, what does that mean to you?
Like, if you go be a musician, first thing you gotta do is make music.
Yeah.
Make the music.
Okay.
And then everything else come with it. If you're really passionate about it, it's all will follow. It's like making money, like playing the stock market. If you're passionate about stocks, then you will keep on checking and you will keep on making sure it's whatever you're passionate about. It's like you just gotta execute.
So is someone coming from that system, then stepping back into the world, you got the knowledge from there.
It was easy.
What type of steps did you take just being a beginning artist, as an artist and also on the business side as well?
Well, first, I got a job, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I was a delivery man, and I was cut up like an eighth of dope, so I was delivering in my tank top to the university students. So the girls, they loving it. They call for a $5 sub and give me a dub. And I'm like, bye. I'm like, so I, you know what I'm saying? My head was built up off of coming out of the prison with knowledge of mind, body, and self, you know what I'm saying? And just being on point. And now I know, it was like I knew people quicker.
Yeah.
It's like I learned way faster
It's
than
almost
before.
like when you go through there, it heightens your senses. Like you able to,
cause you
tune in on shit that you couldn't really focus on because you moving around so much out here that now you forced to slow down as far as your physical body, and you forced to use, you know what I'm saying, your energy or your spirit, however you want to term it, you know what I'm saying, like so you become in tune with processing people faster, you know what I'm saying. Anytime you run into an energy, boom, some people take a little bit longer to scan, you know what I'm saying. Our scanning process got to be faster because you got to be fast on your feet, you got to be on your toes at all times, you know what I'm saying. So I definitely feel where you coming from that, because we just had an episode where I was telling them about like how much I learned from my big homies in there and fucking with the old heads in there, you know what I'm saying? They be thinking niggas be dumb, but they be in there dropping some jewels, you know what I'm saying? Like
I was turning cans of tops into $100 bills.
How?
You get the can of tops, you shake the joint up with just loose tobacco, you order the papers, and somehow miraculously some dudes just can't budget. They couldn't budget in the street, they can't budget in there, and they ain't gonna listen. If they ain't listening in the street, they ain't gonna listen in there. So I would just roll up cigarettes and let dudes get cigarettes on time. Dudes didn't do that. They used to sell cigarettes. When I came in there, I flipped the script. It was like, cool, you know what I'm saying? We all, that's good, because that meant that the OGs can act like they still selling cigarettes, but now they got bud up there, you know what I'm saying? But we got the same amount of traffic, and it's the same folks, so they think it's just a cigarette swap out, but they actually, you know what I'm saying? These dudes was coming from Emporia. They got shorties coming from Emporia, and they bringing pounds in the joint. When I say pounds, I say pounds.
yeah,
That one thing prison taught me
cash
was
flow. It's cash money.
it showed me in an environment like that, if people can really be that smart and make things happen. There's dudes who was still running their operations from in that joint. They sit in the chair all day. I ain't tell. I have to go do that. And you just like, you start processing like, okay.
And anywhere
Game
you
don't
go,
stop.
anywhere you go in there, you know what I'm saying, people got access to you. Kites fly around, you know what I'm saying, like it's no moving around from one facility or one compound to the next and thinking people won't know or be able to get word over there.
Nah.
That shit fast.
And I learned one thing too.
Yeah.
The music game in the streets is more vicious than the system.
Why do you get that comparison?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it is. In the system, you'll run into like people got all kinds of cons, and they will try hard, and they go be successful with some cons. You know what I'm saying? Like some basic cons of getting your pork and beans for a month for a hamburger, but it only come up that the hamburger come once. And you know what I'm saying? They get all your pork and beans, and it's like they tricked you. You like, damn, I should have read the menu. You know, little dumb stuff like that. And on up commissary little scams or whatever. But
Yeah.
I know with the music game, folks will kill you. Like, seriously. And cause it's like in the system, I don't like, my boy, he go over there and he in the other building. I don't know why he don't want to be in the building with us. We in 70, he in 60. And he robbed some essays or something, and they poked him in his neck and shot the kite back over there to us. And we like, what made you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man, you can't be starting no wars. He his joint opened up and shit. And I'm just like, yo.
He chilled out after that?
Yeah, he chilled all the way out. He chilled all the way
Now, with that being said, we just had a recent episode with that same statement and those same kind of similar situations going on. And I was saying that exact same thing. Like, once shit gets pushed to the max, shit is real. You know what I'm saying? This isn't no, oh, I'm just talking, or this is just like some little weak shit. Like, when shit get real, if you've been in some real shit, then you know what the fuck time it is, you know what I'm saying? And people going chill. That's all I was trying to say to that note, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We just had one where it was like, somebody was like, yeah, well, I'm just gonna keep coming back and keep coming back. And like, I'm like, you probably gonna chill. Like,
yeah.
unless you're gonna come back with a weapon and ready to go lay them down, like, you're gonna chill. Like, so how was the music for you doing, like, going for you in the prison versus like on the street? What's the difference between it outside of recording? Because you can still like write and you can still do rap battles and stuff. So like,
It was like in there, I started hearing the most technical and vicious rapping I've ever heard. I ain't heard it in battle rapping. I ain't heard it from no dude that's been out, but like probably like a couple dudes, one or two. I used to hear so much it made me step up how I think and be like, how am I gonna be unique? And when I came home, I had stacks and stacks and stacks of raps, but I had my brother tape, like his little underground tape, and I was like, yo, what's up? Let me put you in the studio. And it just went to him, and then I ain't started rapping until after he blew off that going on tour. That's when I was like mad, because I was like, we sold all them CDs. We ended up going to the beach and we were selling CDs, staying in the hotel room, selling CDs, just selling all them joints. When I came back, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it myself.
yeah.
And then I just got in the studio. And the first joint I did was Hoodness.
Hoodness?
Yeah, this that Hoodness. Licks and Joe spliffs, parties and bullshit, Ducatis and big whips. My models in the streets. I'm telling you, I was in that joint. And Bump was like, dang, yo. It's like, I didn't know you could rap like that. And I just started making music.
Putting in that work. So, before we get into our next subject, we're gonna cut to this break and then we're gonna slide right back to y'all.
This that savage shit.
And so we about to get into his clothing brand, you know what I'm saying? See how he got started, and as far as like his ideas, his logos.
Alright, well, I've always been drawing, so I've always just been drawing crazy stuff. Mm-hmm. And what made me get into the clothing is, a couple years back, we did some t-shirts and I spray painted on them. And it was like, oh, that was cool, blah, 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 but it won't go. Fast forward to now, the pandemic, my uncle passed. I go online trying to get people to do the designs for me and do the t-shirts, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody grieving. I'm like, I'm not trying to worry about it.
Yeah.
I kept getting finessed. I got finesse one time, then another time, and I was like, yo, it was like $50 a pop.
So this going through IG, right?
Nah, this going through Facebook. Yeah, Facebook, IG, and Twitter.
Yeah, because people ask for that money up front and then they don't always do the logo, or they don't do it the way you want to do it. Or,
It was Cash App. I ain't know nothing about Cash App.
Or
So I'm
they'll be
just
like, look, I charge more for, you know what I'm saying, to do more, you know what I'm saying, if you wanted me to redo it or some shit like that. So
that's why one dude hit me. He was like, $100, I do 5. So I send him the money.
Yeah.
Another 50, send him the money. Another, it was 75. I'm just shooting the money off because I'm thinking everything's going to get done.
Yeah.
Wait, week passed. So I started hitting them back like, what's up? One dude blocked me. I'm like, How you gonna block me? The other dude just straight up kept, just giving me the running the wall. You know what I'm saying? And that was just snowballing. And I'm like, man, look. I'm a computer tech, man. Do not mess with me, man. You know what I'm saying? He's like, no, man, I swear, look, my folks passed. I'm like, man, just send the money back. Man, I'm about to send a design. Flaking out. So after that pass, I dropped, what was it, $250 to get these shirts done. She did a good job, but I was like, man, all of this hassle, I could have did that myself. So I started making logos and doing designs, made my uncle's designs with them riding. I got a logo with them riding in a Cadillac. Both of my uncles that passed away. And I just started putting it on the t-shirts, and then I made my logo, and I was like, I was like, I want to make a patch. And that's when I made the patches. I ordered the patches. And I ordered the patches a couple times from a couple different companies, but somehow the order started in the United States, but it ended up going to China. So China got game out there.
They got a lot of game out there.
I thought about doing clothing with patches probably about 2 years ago, man. I didn't know the process of it, and I thought it would be probably harder than it may seem.
I mean, I got the iron-on joints too, so it's like it's all about just doing it.
Okay.
And that's when I came up with the brand jacker, meaning I'm taking, like, say it's Polo, Prada, Helly Hansen. I'm putting my logo on there too. Because the way I feel, we've been jacked around in this country, you know what I'm saying? They don't jack people for land, they took land, and then they making people pay taxes on land they took. So look, I'm just gonna take other people's brands and put mine on there. Bam! I ain't taking nothing else off. I might even cross their joint out sometimes, but like, we don't like that.
That idea is excellent.
And they one-offs, they one-of-a-kinds. And people be buying them, like.
Yeah.
It's pretty creative, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people would be afraid to step out the box and even try something like that, you know what I'm saying? So,
I mean, I already bought it. Yeah. That's the bottom line. It ain't no bootleg. I buy the joints. So I got the right to put my joint on there, boom, and resell it. Yeah. I got to deal with Reebok. Not.
That's pretty creative.
I got it on Reebok, everything. Champion.
Shirts, shoes, hats.
Scullies. Ski masks. So you want to rob a bank of style? Get a ski mask for me.
Brand jacker.
So
yeah, for real.
So how long was you like doing the clothing, or is this like
just
venture?
Since May. Since May, I just started. Just like I did a whole bunch of samples, and I was selling some, and I gave a lot away to people who, you know what I'm saying, on a mutual aid page. They'd be like, I need some shirts, you know what I'm saying? It's getting cold. I'd be like, I got some shirts, but it got my logo on it. They were like,
so you definitely like carry a lot of confidence like in everything you do. You know what I'm saying? And like even if it's not there, you can definitely tell you're not afraid to go outside the box. Yeah. Does that like are you like spiritually more connected with yourself that gives you that comfortability to be able to do that and to be able to think that way?
Yeah, I've studied when I went down the road, I would just go to all the services and just because I came up in a Baptist church, you know, whatever that means.
Yeah.
But I know what it means. You know what I'm saying? I know what it means, but
yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I never knew anything outside of that. I never knew anything about anything else. Seriously.
I think we was all raised like a Christian, like, you know what I'm saying, forcefully, you know what I'm saying, so.
I just started learning about the nation though from Brother Anthony before I got locked, but I didn't really learn what I learned in there outside because I was being hard-headed.
So, what made you want to get more connected with the nation? What was it spiritually that pulled you towards them?
I was just going to like I would go to the Rastafarian service, and I just was learning what everybody was about. Like, what was your declaration? What is your religion about? And I was just learning basic. You know, we had to read whatever, and it was just basically getting a better understanding. And it was like I started seeing religion differently instead of being like I was trapped. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm starting to look at Catholics different. Like, I'm not making judgment, but I'm like, okay, now I know what you about.
You getting a real understanding
Instead of just running into people like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like,
so, do you feel like that helped you, like, just kind of like in your life process as far as like doing the things that you did and still continue to do? Like, how you're pushing through everything and still like motivated, driving, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I think I'm able to connect to people quicker. Like, being grounded spiritually is one thing, but you can always play it off. You can always be like the craziest person to go to church on Sunday. But as far as knowing how to approach people and being able to quickly know what not to say, that's a number one thing a lot of times. Because you say one thing and a person be like, man, what the fuck?
Might trigger something in them. Yeah,
I can see that.
So was there ever a time where you didn't feel connected spiritually?
Yeah, in that church it got crazy at one time, and I just stopped going. I was like, I'm not going to church no more.
That's how I felt too about the whole church process, you know what I'm saying? Like, church is something that'll get you going if you don't have any direction, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta be mindful while you're going through that process, you know what I'm saying? But I think that was a start for me that got me on my spiritual path, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't, I knew following that book in those directions wasn't for me personally, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like there is no book for it, you know what I'm saying? Like, a human had to write that book. You know what I'm saying? So that's another man's perspective.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think once I start becoming more aware too, you know what I'm saying, that's kind of like what tuned me in more, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know I still got family members and shit that's Christians and in the church and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? I don't knock them, whatever you do, you know what I'm saying, to like stay spiritually connected, to keep you, you know what I'm saying, motivated in a positive manner, you know what I'm saying? I salute, you know what I'm saying? But just be mindful and just don't let it control you and dictate, you know what I'm saying? Because religion will also twist up your feelings, you know what I'm saying? And it'll have your little laws, you know what I'm saying? How did you feel about your church experience? Like,
Man, when I was younger, I loved it. When I was about, 4, 5, 6, 7, right up until about 8, I went to church. Then it stopped till I was about 12. When I was 12, I was already out here. So when I went back to church, it was a forced thing. It was forced. And for me, it was a very oppressive and suppressive environment for me. Because I couldn't be myself. I couldn't do what not even do what I wanted. It was just like,
You talking about the Baptist?
you feel like you
no,
held
it was
to a standard?
it was non-denomination. It's more than held to a standard. It's more like, do what I would like you to do and be what I would like you to be, or you're gonna face these consequences of which I'm gonna act like aren't even here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw consequences on you of which I'm gonna act like they are consequences.
And to me, man, it's hard for me to just hear somebody read from a book, you know what I'm saying, which is really difficult to comprehend at a young age, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't even like formally broken down to me, you know what I'm saying? Besides like when you go to Bible Sunday or Bible school, what is it, you know what I'm saying? When you gotta go
Sunday
before
school and stuff like that, Bible study, excuse me.
But that's still like such a kiddie version, like it still doesn't correlate with the book, you know what I'm saying? So as you growing up, you still trying to figure out the damn language of the Bible.
When I was in church, because my mother worked at a church, you know, led the praise team, up until recently.
Massive praise team.
Yeah, man, like, cause she sings too, and I mean, for me, it just reminded me a lot of America and how the world works. It's just like, be what I want you to be, look how I want you to look, present yourself how I want you to present yourself. I can do what I want, and I'm gonna act like I'm not doing what I want. And if you try to prove that, I'm just outcast you. Like that, it's just like the outside world to me. You know what I mean? It's just like school. It's just like anything else.
Yeah, it's
you know what I mean?
You also think like, with it being a place where you're supposed to go get more spiritually connected at, like. It wouldn't be as much drama in the church, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. Every church is different.
Yeah.
Because it's like when
that's true.
when the church I went to, Pilgrims, it seemed to me like a great number of people were the type to go to church because they was trying to stop from going to the club on Saturday night, so they replaced them with Sunday mornings. So they be really in that joint getting it, and it's just like it was all kind of like sinning afterwards, and it was weird. It was like
it didn't feel genuine.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, so y'all act crazy all week and then come to church. Like, nah, that's weird.
It's like y'all live y'all regular life and be who y'all are on every other day in every other place except for here on at these times when you're here.
Just like they replaced the Saturday night party with a Sunday morning party. That's how that church used to be rocking. I used to be like, but the older as I got and I understood who was around them, you know, you start hearing stuff and I'd be like,
but like,
I'm like, hold up, I ain't coming back here no more.
And as far as the churches, like we just speaking as far as like the brown churches, like the ones that we went to culturally, you know what I'm saying? But I also branched out to other churches before too, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, even with those ones, like they don't have drama, but it's like the services, it's like
it's different.
It's very, very dull. Like it's very dull. It's not the same vibration. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I like the energy that they give at the churches we was raised in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just feel like it's an energy that just sits there though. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that you take back with you. Like,
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's why I said different is different. Different buildings teach and get different vibes.
Yeah.
That it's just, I've been to different churches, like period, since I've been older, and it's all the vibes is like, like one church the preacher might be talking about everybody in
this service,
right? Like, sitting there in front of them. Yeah,
y'all sitting on here for married and cheating on your wife right there. She's trying to be good. She's trying to be good. I'll be like, what the world? My mom sees me. I'm not coming back here no more.
Yeah.
I'll be like, see, you gotta scout out. You gotta know where you going. Like some people like drama, so they will go to a certain church. Some people like it's like they got go-go in the church for real. They,
some people do try to go in and take out, you know, the right service from it. You know what I'm saying? I guess whatever that may be. You know what I'm saying?
I will say this, like y'all said, some people need it as a jump start.
Yeah.
Some people, it feeds different purposes for other people. I have and I do get knowledge from the words that I get from them. I always feel like every time I go, it's open ended, and it's like I get a story that never ends, and then I go back the other time. It might be a continuation of that story or another story that never ends, and I'm just feel like somebody's selling me hope. But then I look at them and they're selling me hope, and then
stop selling me hope, fool.
And then their life keep getting better. Their cars keep upgrading.
And that's where I get confused at the churches, and I always think about like people try to like not look at the pastor and look at the actual like concept of it. But if you're gonna take the actual concept of it, you could do that at home. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's not about the pastor, it's about God, or it's not me giving tithes to him, it's about God. Well, you can give them tithes to yourself at home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can take that Bible and do the same thing at the house. You know what I'm saying? But it's like
You can just be nice.
It's almost like it has to be a special occasion for the pastor to really do something for somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they gonna make sure that they balling out of control first, because if you don't know, they got laws written that these motherfucking pastors is not allowed to give out real information. You know what I'm saying? Or yeah, they can't give out real information. That's how they don't have no taxes on them. So that's why they allowed to do it that way.
Oh, they're not allowed to discuss certain
Yeah,
things.
they can't discuss certain things, so they get they whole
I
church
can
shut
believe
down.
that.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, but that just comes with doing a little bit of research as well, too. You know what I'm saying? So
Research.
we talk about the drama part and all that other stuff, but when you do your research, just think about how many services you went to and how much real information they gave you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And just add it up. You know what I'm saying? And it's up to you if you want to keep doing it or not. But I'm just saying, like, that shit is real. Just be mindful of that shit. So, like,
During the pandemic, I'm like, if anybody should be helping people, it's in churches. I'm like, y'all should have
yeah,
a big coffer. Y'all coffers should be up in the millions.
they can move the spaces out, create rooms inside. It's like a lot of things, you know what I'm saying?
I remember I don't remember exactly what happened, but something happened in Texas when Joel Osteen
Oh, yeah.
when
I
he
seen
opened up
that
his church,
shit.
and I was like,
He said, fuck that. He said, fuck them people in Houston. I ain't about to
He's
open
like,
my
nah,
shit
man,
up.
y'all zombies.
And then 1 or 2 days later, he get on TV like, I never said that. Hold up, I'm opening it down.
If you was going to open it, it would have been open.
When it happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
seeing that shit. And he making billions of dollars.
Since I was a teenager,
They got a jet.
he been making that paper.
He got a couple jets.
They got jets.
Yeah, jets.
Jetsons. Flying through the air.
Yeah, they living a Jetson life while they trying to keep us in a Flintstone life.
Yeah, for real.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, on that note, man, you know what I'm saying? We're about to get ready to wrap this thing up. We're going to let y'all know where y'all can find him at, you know what I'm saying? Like, what he got going on coming up next.
Make sure y'all check me out. At me online on social media, LaQuinn, LaQuinn, or LaQuinn Official on IG, LaQuinn Official on Twitter. Well, nah, it's MRQATM on Twitter. Check me out. Go to Spotify, go to Tidal, go to wherever you get your music from, and save my music. Put me in your playlist me. You know what I'm saying? We got songs together right here. So make sure you check me out, LaQuinn, your boy LaQuinn. And check out my clothing line, Brand Jacker. You can go on Facebook right now. I'm getting the site built up for that. So by the time you see this, I don't know how much closer I'm going to be to it, but Brand Jacker, LaQuinn, Living Legend.
Yeah.
And just check out the music, you know what I'm saying? If you need marketing, hit me up, Gilmore Marketing Group.
Yeah, y'all make sure I stay in tune, you know what I'm saying? We showing mad love over here. We supporting, you know what I'm saying? Got another one. My man's, my people's 7, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to add the links down below, you know what I'm saying? As always, make sure y'all go check it out. All kind of different merch, you know what I'm saying? Me and Cheno in the building. We going to be holding this shit down for a while, you know what I'm saying? Y'all just stay tuned, man.
Yes, sir.
It's the TrakWolf GodCast. We signing out.
They not.
The reason why I made that song is because all lives matter. We got that down, right? I hope so. But let me ask you something. Say you just got off of work. You've been working hard, you come in the house, you see your wife or your significant other, and you like, I love you, baby. And they say, I love cheese. Doesn't make any sense. Just say I love you back. That's the same thing when we say Black Lives Matter. When we say anybody, when we say trans lives matter, I can say it back. Yeah, trans lives matter. When they say what? Any type blue lives matter. I can say, yo, blue lives matter, you're right. But the whole thing is, Can you give a little glory when we trying to bring awareness to a struggle and attention to something that's been going on? And it's wrong for anybody to sit back and say, well, you're killing yourselves and all this, because America's a diverse country. Built by immigrants, everything, natives. The diversity is crazy. So we're not going to pigeonhole ourselves and remember, you know, some people remember that they come from Jamaica, or they remember that their family come from Sicily. Let's give people the glory. We in America now, we all need to stand together and band together. That's the main thing. Let's show love. That's what it's about. Thank y'all. Y'all beautiful crowd. That's for real. Now this next song, what's this next song we got coming up? Moonlight.
Alright,
Tell them the premise behind this.
We on our activist stuff, part of our show now. You know, we love reaching out to our community in Charlottesville. You know, everybody's been through something, and music is what we choose to reach our community through. We've done multiple festivals. We appreciate us being here today and having an invitation. Let's go to the Moonlight one time. Let's go to the Moonlight.
Moonlight.
Police brutality is wrong. I don't care if it's against black or white people.
It's wrong. Tell them.
Don't move till I say so. Dressed with blue training shoes in the peso. Black skin with tattoos, what they hate most. Black men gunned down, can't escape homes. Let alone be cuffed, trying to break homes. Only to be killed. And the pigs get a halo. The pigs get a halo. The pigs get a halo. The pigs get a halo? Why do the pigs get a halo? Whoa, the pigs get a halo.
Imagine another person rehearsing to catch a vibe and touch the souls of every person who is alive. My people protesting everything from genocide to cops killing the same folks who were plenty to drive. They took my city, though, pretty, and tossed the folks aside.
Charlottesville!
Handling doors, they out the ride. White hoodies with rock doors, bullets collide. They manifest through the manifestos of racial pride. White and black are the same terms that will divide. Everybody confused to start to stay inside. And check the media views to choose whichever side. Pull us out and safety, they gon' feel inside. You see me? We standing up nowadays praying for peaceful times. The elders older and colder feeling the hateful times. Some people praying to run time. You see, I strive for a future where they super kind. I'm sick and tired of the shooters with the racial pride. And I ain't lying, the line probably a running high. Some people so evil infected people's mind. You see on TV, they easily try to sway the vibe. They make the chisel the visions to cause homicide. They make the chisel the visions to cause homicide. They make the chisel the visions. Yeah, they make the chisel the visions to cause homicide.
Yeah.
Tell them.
Don't move till I say so. Just a blue train to shoot in the peso. Black skin tattoos, what they hate most. Black men gunned down, can't escape homes. Only to be cuffed, trying to break homes. Only to be killed. Next thing, the pigs get a halo.
Yeah.
Why do the pigs get a halo?
We need
Pigs
solidarity.
get a halo.
We need to stand.
This that savage shit.
Becky!